I feel lucky in a way. For whatever reason, my body doesn't crave a lot of junk food. Now, don't get me wrong. If it is around, I will eat it. But in that way, I suppose I deserve some credit. If there's food I want to avoid, I simply don't buy it. So it's the same reason I would never keep alcohol in the house after kicking a long time drinking habit. If I gave myself easy access to alcohol all the time, I'd probably still be drinking it all the time. So here's another example. I don't crave sugar, but there's one treat I just can't resist if it's around in Canada. We have these freezer cake things called McCain Deep and Delicious, and they have pretty much the best icing you'll ever try. And there's just something about that mixed with the frozen cake that makes them irresistible to me. So if one is in the house, I will take it out and eat it sliver by sliver until the whole thing is gone, as though eating small slivers makes any kind of a difference. But I buy these cakes maybe once or twice a year for birthdays in the house, but I know better than to just have them laying around. And that's because controlling your surroundings is a big part of starting any good habit or stopping any bad habit. So I was thinking about this when I came across an article this week written by a cardiologist who revealed what she believed to be the unhealthiest food there is. Now, there's a lot of bad foods out there, and unfortunately, they've become staples instead of treats for a lot of people in modern society. So if you want a pretty comprehensive list of the worst, I actually did some research and wrote my own personal top 5 list where I blog on Medium a little while back, and sugary cereal won that ranking as the top worst food available, with soda coming in second. But obviously there's, none of them are great and they can move around. But sugar cereal won my top spot and soda came in second. But actually neither of those were ranked number one by a cardiologist named Dr. Elizabeth Clodis. And here's what she wrote in an article for NBC's Make It recently. As tempting as it is, junk food is one of the biggest enemies of heart health. And as a cardiologist, there's one type of junk food in particular that you'll never see me eating, which is chips. From nacho cheese flavored tortilla chips to crunchy corn puffs to potato crisps, these are some of the most popular snacks in the US, but they're high in additives and low in fiber and other beneficial nutrients. Over the course of a year, eating just one snack-sized bag of chips, or about 1 ounce every day, could pour about 3/4 of a cup of salt into your body while adding up to 15 pounds. So too much sodium can elevate your blood pressure, and significant weight gain can adversely affect your cholesterol and blood sugar. But you don't have to wait a year to see the effect. Studies show that eating poor quality foods negatively affects blood vessel function within hours of consumption. Now, I'm not sure everyone would agree that chips are the worst possible food. I know I lean more towards sugar foods and fatty meats like bacon in terms of truly damaging stuff, but I do think chips are definitely in the mix for the sneakiest bad food, because most people probably don't think of them as particularly terrible because they're made with a vegetable. And they don't have a ton of sugar like traditional junk foods like cake, candy, and ice cream. Now, the problem, of course, is the processing that takes place afterwards. So what starts as a potato ends up as a fatty salt bomb, and they can certainly be addictive. I don't know if you remember these old Lay's ads featuring hockey star Mark Messier in the 1990s, but I'm a kid of the 90s, so I remember them well. And the tagline was, "Bet you can't eat just one," which is a good bet by Mark Messier. And that's why I walk straight by the chip aisle without a glance whenever I'm doing my weekly grocery shop. Folks, if you, what's your favorite food indulgence that you can't say no to? I'd love to hear from you in the comments and what you think the worst possible food is to eat. Thanks for taking the time today. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you again soon.